We're going to talk about simplifying cybersecurity. Cybersecurity can seem very complex. It can seem overwhelming sometimes with the amount of threats, tactics, techniques that are happening. But we're going to talk about simplifying it. The problem you have in a lot of cases, you're speaking to business owners, generally older people, and what they have in their head in terms of cyber threats is things like the love bug. They get an email, all of a sudden spam starts going out from them, sending a message saying, I love you. A little bit embarrassing, not really that serious. So that's what they have in their head when you're telling them about cyber threats and cyber attacks. But what happened is threat actors realized something. They realized they could make money out of this. So then you started getting botnets, you started getting adware, you started getting spam. But today, the cyber threat or the cyber crime market is worth billions of dollars. How many billions? It's estimated this year to be 640 billion. And as you can see from that chart, it is not slowing down. If anything, it is accelerating. So what can we do to stop these attacks? There was some interesting conversation there around frameworks. Frameworks are great. They give you some really good advice about what you should do. Slight problem with some of it is it's a little bit non-specific. So configure the system to provide only mission essential capabilities. I mean, that's good advice. But does that mean the user doesn't use calculator on their machine, so therefore they shouldn't be allowed to run calculator? Again, some of the advice is, I mean, it's just word salad in a lot of cases. I mean, again, if you understand what they're saying, that does make perfect sense, but it's very non-specific. And even if you get to a point with a particular framework where you go, okay, we have everything sourced, everything is sorted within our environment, then it gets superseded by a new framework. Block by default, permit by exception. So if some users need to access some USB drives, let them access those USB drives, but limit it for everyone else. It is the easiest way to exfiltrate large amounts of data out of companies. I saw a statistic where I think 55% or 56% of people, when leaving a job, will take sensitive information with them. The company I used to work for had that exact thing happen. So an employee was leaving, going to work for another MSP, took their client list with them, started targeting them. But again, blocking USB drives will solve that problem. Anybody who's running an EDR who does not have MDR or 24/7 monitoring or a SOC, you're wasting your time. Okay, the bad guys are not working 9 to 5. They are working in the middle of the night. They are working holidays. They love Thanksgiving. They love 4th of July. Not in the same way that you love 4th of July, in a completely different way. So you have to have somebody doing it. Anybody who's ever dealt with our cyber hero team knows how good they are, how quick they are to respond, because timing is important. Response time is important when an attack or an attempted attack is underway. We've also added defense against configurations, or as I affectionately refer to it, dumbass configurations. I saw a statistic on a Gartner event in Brazil recently where they said 60% of organizations have had some sort of an event or breach caused by a misconfiguration. We all, again, maybe we agree that frameworks are good things to adhere to. We apply NIST, whatever the case may be, to our environments. Do you really, though? And are all machines compliant? So what DAC does is it runs currently 170 checks on every single machine in your environments every single day and reports back to a very pretty dashboard telling you which compliance frameworks are affected, which things are critical, will give you information about the thing that is wrong, and it will tell you why it is important. And if there is a solution, it will tell you what the solution is. ThreatLocker platform has expanded greatly over the last number of years. You see on the right-hand side are the things that we've just added this year alone. So web, patch management, insights, the store, and cloud control have all been added this year. The rest of the platform, fundamentally, it's about default deny. Okay, it's about blocking what's not needed, stopping cyber attacks. It is so effective in blocking cyber attacks. So it's about control. We also have ThreatLocker Detect, which is our EDR. Okay, we see EDR slightly differently to some other vendors. We don't see EDR as being the entire game. But the problem with detection and response is if you don't detect it, you cannot respond to it. We do, as I mentioned, run quite regular webinars, generally well attended, sometimes entertaining, hopefully always educational. That was one where we tied a Wi-Fi pineapple to a drone and accidentally flew it into the CEO's office. So if you're interested, check that out. At the risk of sounding like every YouTuber my kids watch, smash that subscribe button. They are quite good sometimes. If you're interested, you can book a demo there, or please talk to my colleagues at the booth. Also to mention Zero Trust World, we do our own event every year. This year it's on March the 4th to the 6th in Orlando. For those of you who've ever been to Florida, you will know that it's the best time of the year to go to Orlando. If you go during the summer, it is way too hot. It is a beautiful time of the year. It is a really good event. Anybody who ever goes to it has a great time, so I'd like to officially invite you along. If you're interested, you can scan that code. But do talk to my colleagues at the booth. But I just wanted to thank you all for your attention. I look forward to having the opportunity to speak with you in the boardrooms. Please do come visit myself, my colleagues at the booth. We'll be there whenever it's on, and we would love to have a conversation with you. But thank you all very much for your attention, and I'll talk to you soon.